Right guys, welcome to another episode of Latif's Inspired. Today I'm going to be showing you how we make the Brinjal Pakora, Aubergine Pakora. In Muslim households, we normally for iftar time, they love frying up these pakoras, and in the restaurant it's very popular as well. And I've had so many requests on my Facebook and my Instagram to also show this recipe. So since I was fortunate to find some aubergine. I'm making a video on the aubergine bhaji as well as the aubergine pakora. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy some lovely recipes, and hopefully you're going to make this at home to enjoy it. So thank you very much, and I'll be showing you the recipe. Right, for the brinjal bhaji, I'm using just two, it's a smallish size brinjal. And what I'm going to do, so what I've done is just cut these half sort of semi circles. You can have it all like a nice little discs, but this is more easier to eat and to share. So this is two aubergines that I've just roughly chopped up. And if you're worrying why have I got this weird yellow knife, it's a Victor Renew Swiss knife. It's just yellow in color, but it's a very good knife, a good quality knife. So there you go. So now all I'm going to do now is add some salt and spices. Right, going to add some salt. So 1 teaspoon. What this is going to do is release the liquid from the aubergine. There you go. And to this I'm going to add some spices. So 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And 1 teaspoon of chili. Kashmiri dry red chili this is. There you go. And when I make the batter is also going to have some spices. So what this is going to happen is when I mix this all up, and I'm going to leave it until I'm ready to fry. And what's going to happen is going to release lots of liquid, and when it releases lots of liquid from the aubergine, lots of spices are going to go away. So in the batter, I'm going to have to be very careful when I'm putting in what sort of spices. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do is just give this a good mix. There you go, lovely, thoroughly mixed. Put a lid on. Right, the aubergine has been marinating away. Over here, there's a lot of liquid, as you can see here. Lots of liquid that's come out of the aubergine. So what I'm going to do is just strain the water off. So I've just strained some of the water, some of the liquid over here. Now for the batter. This is the gram flour, which is the chickpea flour. That just any packet like this or something would be fine. And this bit is just plain flour. This just helps it crisp up. And this is optional, but I've got a teaspoon of garlic and ginger mix. It's going to be quite nice and flavoursome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some fenugreek seeds. So just a pinch, that's fine. I'm going to add some salt. I've added salt here already, so about just less than 1 teaspoon. There you go. Some oil over here, so 1 tablespoon of oil. That's fine. You don't need to add the oil, but the oil is optional. It's quite good. And then just give everything a nice mix. And I'm going to use some water in a bit. Right, now I'm going to add some spices. Half a teaspoon of turmeric. That's going to give a nice color. And I want it to be a little bit spicy, so about half a teaspoon of chili powder. In the restaurant, I would have used my own mixed powder, which has everything, but for you guys at home, this is pretty fine. So it's got a nice little colour. Now I'm going to add some water. So 1/4 cup. So that was 1/2 cup. So you want it to be nice and loose, but not too watery. Needs a little bit more. There you go. It's nice and thick, not too watery, and that should hold on to the aubergine, sort of stick. There you go. For me, that's perfect. And now add all this over here. So as you can see here, it's loosened up, lots of moisture has gone out, so it's a bit dry. And give this a nice mix. And then we're going to turn the oil on, ready to fry. There you go. Now, when you're putting it into the oil, just make sure when you're putting it into the oil, make sure the batter is on the aubergine, just like this. There you go. Bismillah. There you go. The batter has to be perfectly coated to get a nice crisp aubergine pakoras. Have to be pretty fast when you're doing this. Could have left it in a nice discs, but this is more edible and more bite-sized. So as you can see, when she's turned it, it's sort of golden, and the colour has changed a bit, so you know it's cooking beautifully. Very simple and easy to follow, hopefully. And what the plain flour does is gives it a nice crisp crunch to it. And if you want to make it gluten free, just leave out the plain flour, guys. Just keep the gram flour, because the chickpea flour, which is perfectly fine. These are becoming nice and crispy. Takes about 5-6 minutes, depending on the heat. You have to use your initiative. When it's nice and golden, that's when you know it's ready. And also when you give it a little tap and you feel that it's quite crunchy. It's nice and crisp and it's changed in colour. There you go. Now I've got a metal bowl, just which it keeps it nice and hot, and with some kitchen towel at the bottom. There you go, the colours are beautiful. And now my mum's going to put some of the rest of the aubergine in. Bismillah. So when you're frying it over here, don't overfill it. Keep some gaps, because what it does is steam roast inside the aubergine, and you don't want the oil to become cold. What happens when you add too many stuff inside the oil at the same time? It reduces the heat of the oil, and that's what you do not want. Nice and crisp. There you go. Beautiful. Nice, crunchy and crisp. So keep turning this every couple of minutes, and when you see the both sides nice and golden, that's when you know to take it out of the oil. Some of them are done. Like I this. Now we're going to add the second batch. There you go. Just making sure she mops up the batter. There's a lot of flavour in the batter. So I left it for about a couple of minutes, then just flipping it. Right, it's been a couple of minutes on both sides. Keep on turning it. I think that's ready. What are you going to do? And here you go. Nice, crispy brinjal pakoras. Brinjal pakoras, beautifully crispy, crunchy, and absolutely flavoursome. There you go. If you enjoy this, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe for more fantastic videos.